It's September 3rd, 2013. I'm just west of Weewar, about 30-35 k's down the Cubaroo Lane. Most of the crops I've seen so far haven't been too bad, but as you get west of Weewar they went off pretty quickly. This is a crop of chickpeas. It's pretty poor, as you can see. Keep moving down Cubaroo Lane and then back north and then go up Pian Lane through there. I think it's called. Anyway, I'll update soon. Not far from those chickpeas we were looking at there just a minute ago. Maybe just a few k's down the road over Pian Creek and the railway, and this is a crop of wheat. I was talking to a guy from out here the other day and he said it was just about buggered out here, and you can see why you'd say that, because it's just about bucket out here. There's large dead patches right through the whole paddock as you drive along. This is actually better looking than the stuff on the other side of the road, which is the larger dead patches. Anyway, I'll keep going. Well, the further I get down this Cubaroo Lane, it's not looking any better. It's another crop of wheat. It's basically dead. Still just heading down the Cubaroo Lane, west of Merah North, which is west of Weewar Narrabri. It's just not getting any better. I don't know how big this block would be, maybe 800 or 1,000 acres, and you know, there's probably 5% of it's green. Across the road's actually worse, if you can believe it. Anyway, I'll keep heading down and around and see. I'm just southwest of Merah North. I thought I'd better pull up and have a look at this because it's one of the few paddocks that I've seen that's actually still green. I don't know where we are. We're sort of along Pian Creek. As you can see, it's not brilliant. I'm just down the Doreen Lane a bit. There's a few paddocks irrigated wheat down here that don't look too bad, but it's hard to get a gauge on anything because you can't see much further than the irrigation channels. The emu seem pretty happy with this block. I'm about halfway down the Doreen Lane, and it's starting to become evident that the crops are very variable. This is a crop of favour beans, obviously, and like it's up fairly high, but it's stressing it. And the wheat just prior to it looked pretty good too, but you know, you look across the road and it's obviously a wheat that's been planted a little bit later and it's struggling big time. I'll have a look at that in a sec. There's a few pods starting to, I don't know, there's not many I suppose. But like all these crops out here, you know, it's just really struggling. You can see how it's just starting to give up. We'll go across the road and have a look at this bit of wheat. Alright, so this is across the road from those favour beans we were just looking at. And you can see it's doing it pretty tough here. Yet there's wheat, you know, a keg down the road that's hip high in head, nice and green. Doesn't look to be irrigated. This definitely doesn't look to be irrigated. Anyway, I'll keep going and I'll see what I see. I'm just a few k's north of the Spring Plain Hall. Once you get off the end of the Doreen Lane, you really don't see a lot of cropping. It sort of dries up real quick. This is the first bit I've seen for a few k's now, 10 or 15 k's. It's just some chickpeas. The smell's really strong. You can tell it's dry because it just stinks so much. There's a few flowers on them. No pods yet, just a few buds. Not much to write home about though. You know, with a couple of inches of rain on this over the next week or two, it'll turn out to be a pretty good crop, but it's going to do it tough without a fall of rain. It's very dry. You look at all the pasture country around here and it's just, there's nothing in it. A little bit further down the road there was a failed crop of wheat with a bunch of sheep in it, so they're starting to feed it off. I'm just a few k's down the road from those chickpeas. This wheat doesn't look too bad, all things considered. It's fairly even, there's no big dead spots in it like there has been in most of the other crops I've seen. I'd hazard to put a yield on it, but I don't know, you'd have to say there's at least a tonne to the acre there. A long way from finish though. Across the road there's just a pasture paddock that's hardly worth putting anything in. I'm just in a field of chickpeas just a bit further north of where the wheat was we just looked at. I'm sort of near the end of the Spring Plain Road, I suppose. It's pretty variable out here. I think it's got a lot to do with when the crop was planted. You'll go past one wheat field and it'll look okay like the last lot we looked at, and then the next field will be, you know, 10 inches high, struggling, gonna die, and there's various states in between. So definitely the earlier stuff seems to be the ones that are going to pull it off this year. It's a huge paddock of chickpeas here. It looks fairly good. If it had 2 inches of rain on it now, you'd have to say it was going to be a bloody handy crop. I'm starting to head east again now. I'm about 50 k's west of Belladda. Millie Rd, sort of, I don't know, Malawar sort of area. Just went over the Thalaba Creek there a while back, so it's a rough idea where I am. Here's some wheat, doesn't look too bad. I'd imagine it's going to start looking better as I start heading east fairly quickly from here on in. You can see the wheat's flowering now, so I don't know whether that frost the other day would have given it a bit of a touch up yet. I can't see too much tipping, but there's definitely a bit here. You can see it here and there, but not a heap of it across the paddock. But yeah, I can't see how it would have escaped it really at this stage, so it may well look a bit better than what it's going to be. The ground's cracking open pretty bad. Anyway, I'll keep going. I'm just here at Orlando, sort of west of Millie. This is a crop of canola I've been driving along now for a couple of k's. It's fairly well advanced. Nearly all the flowers have gone off it. I'll just have a quick squeeze at it a bit closer to see whether that frost got any damage to it. Across the road there's a paddock of wheat, doesn't look too bad. I'll duck in and have a look at this canola. It's too thick to get into, well, for someone of my stature anyway, but just at the edge of the crop. It doesn't appear to have much damage from frost. There's a few little clusters of aphids starting to come into it, but nothing dramatic. It's good. Yeah, 5.5 foot tall. There's nothing wrong with this. I've been past this about 100 times, but I don't think I've ever pulled up and actually had a look at it. The Millie Monument at Millie. I don't know, I'm about 25 k's west of Balata now, and the crops are definitely a lot better here than what they were sort of 50 k's west. There's no comparison really. Obviously they'll all benefit from a fall of rain, but there's just no comparison. There's a bit of tipping in this crop, either from the frost or the dry weather, but not much. Anyway, I'll keep moving east. I'm heading down the Bald Hill Road now. It runs parallel to the highway about 20 k's west of Balata. It runs down to Narrabri. There's a crop of wheat either side of this road I'm standing on here, and it looks pretty good really in comparison to what we've seen today. This crop here is obviously a lot earlier planted than the crop on the other side of the road, which will probably struggle to finish without any rain. The crops all in this area, this whole Millie area, have looked a lot better than what I was expecting to see. Anyway, I'll keep heading towards Narrabri. Now I'm about 5 k's maybe south of where we were just a minute ago. Still on the Bald Hill Road, heading towards Narrabri, west of the Newell. Just into another crop of wheat here. It's flowering now. Doesn't look too bad, all things considered. It's kind of surprised me a bit today in general. Everything it was as bad as I was expecting to see it further west, but as you head east, it's not too bad. No bumper crop by any means, but it's not as bad as I thought. You can see it's starting to die off from the base of the plant. Anyway, I'll keep heading south. Here's more favour beans. 17 k's west of Balata now. This is actually a pretty high crop, pretty tall crop. I can't see it have a lot of pods on it though, just yet. Oh, there's a few there. It's looking good. The one I looked at, the crop I looked at further west was definitely stressing a lot more than this was. The tops of the plant were wilting and everything, but this crop seems to be hanging on okay just at the moment. I'm just between Edgeroi and Balata in a field of Spitfire wheat. It's looking okay, but the frost damage is starting to become evident in a lot of these crops here at the moment. You can see a bit of tipping in it as you look at it more closely, but more importantly, as you walk through the crop and you grab at the odd head, it just pulls straight out without much effort at all. That just comes straight out without even trying. It doesn't look really stem frosted, but just you would expect a hell of a lot more effort and what it takes to pull some of these heads out. So you hardly even put any pressure at all on that, and out it comes. And we're thinking that over the next 2 weeks this crop could show a lot more evidence of frosting, and you know, I think some of the agronomists around here have called it up to 30% damage, but it's just not evident looking at the crop just yet. You'd only say there's a little bit of tipping there, but anyway, we'll find out in 2 weeks.